Man, our first student groups were a massive success, and we could not have pulled them off without you. So thank you guys so much for showing up and making them amazing. Really quick,
Really quick, I just need to tell you about something amazing that is happening on September 27th, the very first student night. It's gonna be ridiculous. Now, I can't tell you too much about it right now because we want it to be a surprise, but I can tell you this, you will never be the same. So keep your eyes glued to our Instagram for updates and sneak peeks and things like what to do to give yourself a better chance to win the giveaway that's happening. Anyway, just show up and you won't regret it. And if you do, we're giving you a money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with your experience, please email us at ihatefun@myfreedom.org.
Last week we talked about this thought. How do you see God? We talked about how we could have preconceived notions and ideas about God from previous life experiences or even the opinions of others. I mean, there are tons of things that affect how we view God. But we also learned that through the story of Job that we can't really know him until we experience a relationship with him for ourselves. Once we start walking with him, talking to him, which is just praying and reading his word, that's when we can begin to learn who he is. This week, we're gonna be talking about the flip side of last week's thought. So instead of how do you see God, this week it's gonna be how does God see you? Now, this is a super important question for us because in order to have a healthy relationship with God and in order to be able to grow that relationship, we have to understand how he views us. But I think there are some things we have to discuss before we can even get to that question. Last week in small groups, we talked about how the opinion of others and things you've heard could impact how you view somebody. So who's to say that that doesn't apply to how we view ourselves? Most of us know that whether we want to admit it or not, that the words of others can impact how we view ourselves. It can even influence our self-confidence. The way you view yourself can even be affected by the mistakes you've made. We can begin to view ourselves as a failure or a screw-up. And I'm here to tell you right now that this is not how God sees you. You are not defined by the mistakes of your past or what other people have said. In fact, he gave you his word to tell you how he sees you. And in his word, it says that he sees you as his child. He sees you as an heir, which means that you are a prince and a princess in his eyes. He cares about us and loves us so much that he took the time to handcraft each and every one of us. He loves you so much that he will never leave you. He cares about you so much that he will never stop chasing after you. He values you so much that he sent his only son to die for you so that you could be free from everything wrong you've ever done. This is where knowing how God sees us can be a game changer. Because when we hear how God sees us and then we choose to believe that regardless of what others think or what others say or the mistakes we've made, when we believe what he says, our lives can begin to drastically change. So as we go into our small groups, I want you to be thinking about this question and how it applies to your life. How do you think that God sees you?